You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we get you caught up with everything surrounding the New York Football Giants. The NFL Draft is just a couple days away, and Bleacher Report recently put out an article highlighting 3 trades that Joe Schoen could make on draft day to move up in the order as well as move down in the NFL draft order. I'll share those trade ideas, I'll give you my thoughts on them, and I'll ultimately tell you what I think the Giants should do at pick number 6. But we are just weeks away from day one of the NFL draft starting. 23 days away, 24 days away. The draft starts on April 25th, and hopefully with the 6th selection, or if they trade up or trade down, the Giants are going to add a blue chip prospect to this roster. I love the NFL draft. I'm kind of tired of talking about it because I just want it to be here. If you want us to go live for the NFL draft, though, here on the channel, I need you to like this video. The bosses here at Chat Sports are like, you know what, Marshall, I don't know if we should go live on Giants Now for the draft. And I'm like, you're crazy. We're going live. We need 500 likes on today's video to go live for the draft. So if you want it to happen, hit that thumbs up icon for me. Alrighty, let's set the stage with the picks that the Giants are going to have in the NFL draft. They no longer have 2 second-round picks as they did move one of them to the Carolina Panthers to get back Brian Burns. So you own the 6th pick in the NFL draft in round 1, pick 47 in round 2, you have pick 70 in round 3, you have 3 picks inside the top 70. You got to hit on all of those. And you got pick 107, 141, and 183. Let's just dive straight into it. The first trade idea from Bleacher Report had the Giants going from pick number 6 to move up into the top 3 and making a deal with the New England Patriots. They have the Giants giving up pick 6, pick 47, and a 2025 second-round pick to move up 3 spots in the NFL draft to inevitably draft either Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye. And in my opinion, if you can move up in the draft to go get a franchise quarterback, you do it. I've talked about it time and time again on this program all offseason long. The Giants need new blood, they need new juice, and they need a new face of the franchise. And whether that's Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye, depending on who goes number 2 to the Washington Commanders, if the Giants are able to get one of those guys at pick number 3, that would be a great first move in kind of this new age of the New York Giants. You do whatever it takes in the NFL draft to secure the opportunity to draft a franchise quarterback. Because I don't think we're in the day and age of the NFL anymore where you're necessarily going to get to a Super Bowl with a guy like Rex Grossman or Trent Dilfer. I know Brock Purdy did it, but I think Purdy is still one of the most underrated quarterbacks in this league. You need a great quarterback. Is Drake Maye or Jayden Daniels great? I don't know, but I would hope that Brian Daboll, who was hired as an offensive guru and a QB whisperer, could unlock the potential of these guys. I mean, Jayden Daniels was a stud at LSU this past year. There's a reason he was the Heisman Trophy winner, and there's also a lot of thought as to he's going to go number 2 overall. I love the development in his game. There's some things I love about his game. There's also some things that I'm a little bit worried about. 24 years, he's a little bit older, and it took until his final year in college to have elite production, where he threw for 72% completion percentage, almost 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 11 yards per attempt, and another 1,100 yards on the ground and 10 touchdowns. Is it Daniels or Maye, though? Because that's what it's going to come down to if you do make that pick. And honestly, if you move up to 3 and either on the board, I'm cool with it because I think Jayden Daniels is a stud, and I believe Drake Maye is going to be a big-time player in this league. Not nearly as good of a year in 2023 as Maye had in 2022, but his supporting cast was not nearly the same, and there was just a lot more on his plate, and he had to play a lot more hero ball. Are there some concerns with him? Yeah, he has some accuracy issues. He misses some easy throws. But when you sit down and you watch the tape, some of the plays that he makes just jumps off the screen, and you can see why he is projected to be a top 5 pick. For me, I have Drake Maye as QB2, and I have Jayden Daniels at QB3. And I would make that trade with the New England Patriots with the idea that I am getting either one of those quarterbacks, and I would be absolutely thrilled if you did. They would be great with the Giants. I think Daboll would be able to help those guys progress. You also got Mike Kafka, QB on your staff who played in this league. I would do whatever it takes to move up. Who should they do it for, though? I'll let you decide. Who would you rather be the quarterback of the Giants going forward? Is it Drake Maye out of North Carolina, or is it Jayden Daniels, a Heisman Trophy winner? Type the initials of the QB you want to see under center for Big Blue. Let's talk about the second trade idea that Bleacher Report flirted with with the New York Giants. This one had the Giants going from pick 6 to pick 4. Round 1, you give up your pick number 6, and you give up your 3rd round pick this year to move up 2 slots. In this idea, Bleacher Report had the Giants moving up for Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think the question you're going to ask yourself if you are trading up for MHJ is, how much better is Maserati Marv than Malik Nabers? And for me, I think it's a decent bit. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is one of the best wide receiver prospects that we have seen in recent memory. He was an absolute dog for 2 straight years at Ohio State. And you listen to the way that players at Ohio State talk about him, whether it's Jackson Smith and Jigba or Chris Olave, they all praise him about being the smoothest route runner they have seen. He was the best guy to come out of Ohio State, and the stats show it. There's a reason he had 28 touchdown grabs over the last 2 years, over 1,200 yards in both those seasons, and almost 100 yards per game over a 25-game sample size. Nabers is no scrub either, and if the Giants stick in pick at number 6 and Nabers is on the clock, that would be a home run pick for me. The need for the wide receiver position for the Giants is a big one. They need a wide receiver 1. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is the best. I would do it. I would go up and secure the opportunity to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. I got MHJ right above Nabers, but I think just getting the best wide receiver prospect in this class, and all you're having to sacrifice is a round 3 pick, is special. I truly believe that Maserati Marvin Harrison Jr., has Hall of Fame potential. I truly believe that. I think he's going to come into this league, and after his rookie season, we may look back and say he's already a top 10 receiver in the league, and the Giants need that. And this is no disrespect to Nabers. I love him. I hope he's a Giant at 6. But if I can move up to get Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm making that call, and I'm making sure I got the best wide receiver in this draft on my football team going forward to help potentially the rookie QB I draft next year. We have one more trade idea where the Giants trade down in the first round or trade back up into the later part of the first round draft. But first, I got to tell you guys about our proud sponsor, Game Time. Download the Game Time app and get the best seats for the lowest prices guarantee. What I love about Game Time is prices drop as the events get closer, and they will alert you with their flash deals when the best price is available. I also am a huge baseball fan, and I'm looking to go to some New York Yankees games this summer, and you should do the same. And you should buy those tickets with Game Times. It's easy, it's very user-friendly, and you're going to save yourself some money. I also appreciate that you get to have a view from the seat you're thinking about buying while looking out to the stadium or the venue, because you can go to concerts, theater events, comedy shows, and so much more. But baseball season is here. Maybe you want to go watch the Mets or the Yankees or whatever local team of the city you're living in. Do with Game Time and use that promo code CHATSPORTS when you download the app and get yourself $20 off. I've used Game Time for about the past year. Now, I've gone to concerts, I've gone to a Knicks game, and I can't wait to use it to go see my New York Yankees and Juan Soto play some baseball in the Bronx. And you could save yourself $20 off with the promo code CHATSPORTS. So just go to the App Store, download the Game Time app, use the promo code CHATSPORTS, and save yourself $20 off. I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. The last trade idea we're going to talk about in this video is the Giants moving up from pick 47 to get back into the first round of the NFL draft to potentially draft a quarterback. The only reason you would do this is if there's a quarterback on the board that you like and you want to secure that 5th-year option for that player. If you draft a person in the first round on a 5-year contract, you draft a player in the second round, they are on a 4-year contract. So the Giants would be giving up pick 47 and pick 70 to jump up from 47 to 32 while also getting pick number 131 in this situation. The only way I would do this is if Micahel Penix is still on the board. And I don't really see a likely world where Micahel Penix Jr. is still on the board when pick number 32 is here. I'm not sure how he's going to get past the Raiders or the Broncos or another quarterback-needy team. But let's live in fantasy world where this does happen. You're looking at Bo Nix or you're looking at Micahel Penix Jr. Let's talk about Bo Nix. I think he is one of the more controversial quarterbacks in this class. For some people, it's really hard to get that Auburn film out of your mind and really shaping your opinion of him. But he got much better when he went to Oregon. He was also operating a much different offense. A lot of throws were near or at the line of scrimmage, and that's why the completion percentage in 2022 was 72%, and this year it was 77%. I don't love his arm. I think he can make most of the throws, but I question if he's got a top-end arm in this league. But I do love the way he takes care of the football. Only 20 interceptions in the past 4 seasons. Really a totally different prospect is Micahel Penix compared to Bo Nix. Penix will let it rip from the pocket, and he wants to throw the ball downfield. I'm not sure anybody throws better outside the numbers in this class than Micahel Penix Jr. 39 total touchdowns this year, 35 total the last year, north of 65% completion percentage the last 2 seasons. But in Indiana, he had some major injuries happen, and that concerns me a little bit. I like Micahel Penix Jr., but I wouldn't trade up in the first round to get him. If he's there at pick number 47, I would make the deal. I don't love the idea of drafting a 24-year-old quarterback that has injury issues, and I also have major issues about his potential arm when talking about Bo Nix. I like Penix. I don't love him, but I would be happy if the Giants got him at pick 47. It really just comes down to this for me, and I've always kind of felt this way about drafting quarterbacks. If you're not getting a guy in the first round, what are we really doing? Going back to 2017, there really haven't been that many late-round quarterbacks that hit. Yeah, Jalen Hurts worked out and Brock Purdy worked out, but outside of that, there really hasn't been many success stories of quarterbacks going in round 2, round 3, or round 4. So in my opinion, if you're going to get a quarterback, it's either Maye, it's Daniels, or it's J.J. McCarthy. I really don't want to use a mid-round pick or second or third-round pick on a quarterback. I'd rather would just save that draft capital in this situation with the Chiefs instead of trading up into the first and realize that you're going to need a QB next year and use that draft capital to either get picks for next year or just build up the roster around them. When it comes to trading down in the first round, because we didn't necessarily talk about that in this video, and I've been asked 1,000 times about it, I'm not the biggest fan of trading down for the Giants this year. I may also just be scarred of Dave Gettleman trading down in the 2022 NFL draft, where he passed up on Micah Parsons and he passed up on Rashawn Slater to trade down and get Kadarius Toney. Because at number 6, where the Giants are on the clock, you can draft a blue chip prospect. And I believe that's what the Giants need. They don't have many primetime players on this team. We love Brian Burns. We love Dexter Lawrence. We love Andrew Thomas. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is a blue chip prospect, still early in his career. Outside of that, I wouldn't say the Giants have any top-end talent or potential all-pro players. And at pick number 6, you can get a guy like that. And I think that's what they need. Top-end talent. That's what this football team is lacking. I want you to pick a trade for me down in the comment section, though. If you could make any of these 3 deals happen, which one would you want it to be? Is it to move up to number 3 with the New England Patriots? If so, type number 1 in the comment section for me. If you'd rather move up to pick number 4 to get a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr., type 2. Or if you want to trade back into the first round to get either Micahel Penix or Bo Nix, I want you to type 3 in the comment section for me. Let me know down in the comments right now. For me, I would go with number 1 because I believe the biggest need for this football team is a new face at the quarterback position. And whether Maye or whether Daniels is available, if the Patriots are willing to trade down, the Giants should be doing whatever it takes to move up and secure that player. Here is what my big board looks like at this moment. I really loved what Joe Schoen said back in 2022 of the NFL draft. He said, we have pick 5 and we have pick 7. I only need 7 players I like. Giants are picking 6, so I only need 6 players I'm in love with. And I believe Caleb Williams is the best player in this class. He's not going to be a Giant. I believe the second best player in this class, though, is Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to walk into the league, be dominant, and be a guy that's going to put the fear of God in defensive coordinators' hearts every single week. I think the third best player in this class is Joe Walt. I was singing the praises and the want to of the Giants drafting Joe Walt back in the fall and the winter, but it just sounds like they're not going to do it. But I think Alt is also a player that has Hall of Fame potential. At number 4, I got quarterback Drake Maye. I think he's special. I think he can make every throw. He's got big play ability. Sometimes looking for the home run a little bit too much. But I think in the NFL, where it's not going to be as dependent on him to carry all the lackluster talent around him, he'll settle in. And if he works with Dable and Kafka, I think he'll unlock him in that sense. Number 5, I have Malik Nabers. I love Marvin Harrison Jr. I also love Malik Nabers. I think he's going to be a stud in this league. I got him as number 5 on my big board. And to round out the top 6, I have the Heisman Trophy winner, Jayden Daniels, at number 6. If the Giants were to get any of these players at number 6, I would be very, very happy. I do have Rome Odunze as number 7. I'd also be happy if he was a Giant at number 6. And then I got J.J. McCarthy somewhere in my top 10. And I still believe that if McCarthy's on the board at 6, he will be a New York Football Giant. Make sure you are following me over on social media at @MarshallGreen_ on Twitter, as well as on Instagram. Trying to get my social media game up. James Yoder, CEO Chat Sports, said I got to do it. So help me out, give me a follow, and let's go Big Blue.